Hi, I'm Don, and this is The Hobbyist Geek. Today we are continuing our R2 build. We have issue 55 right here, and we have our part, and this looks like the motor for the left leg wheel, and we know what that means, right? Looks like it's going to be time to get our leg assembly nearly completed. Okay, here are the parts that come with this issue. We have the left wheel motor gearbox, and we have a bunch of longer silver screws and a bunch of the black screws as well. These look like the 6mm black screws. We're going to be needing quite a few screws for this issue, but we'll set those to the side for the moment. And what I'm going to do is bring out my test kit, and I'm going to test the motor before we install it, as opposed to afterwards, now that we have the gear to do so. So we'll just plug this puppy in. Battery box on, and there it goes. Excellent news. So we know the motor works, and we can install it with confidence. So we'll begin by fitting the motor into the wheel, and this is going to just go straight into the axle here. Just like that. And then you'll want to line up these 4 screw holes like so, and use the longer silver screws that they supplied with this issue for those 4 holes. All right, now that we've got the motor assembled, we're going to take the motor cable. That's the one that's got this really wide end on it that we got from previous issues. I'm going to string that thing up. And what we're going to do, after we straighten it out, we're going to take the wider end, we're going to plug it into the motor. Just like last time. There it goes. We're going to take the smaller end and make sure that it goes through here. Just thread it in. And bring it out as far as we can. There we go. Now remember that when we go to cable tie this, it's a really tight fit, and you're going to want to make sure that you've got plenty of room here. So you're going to want this to go, straight down like that. You don't want to pull it taut when you go to cable tie it, but that'll come in a couple more steps here. For now, we're going to take the infrared sensor cable here. I'm going to undo this and identify which one's the smaller one. In this case, it's this one. And we need to measure out 135 centimeters because, well, that is what the instructions say. We need at least 135 centimeters, stem to stern. I'm going to give it like an extra centimeter or so here. And now we know where to tie that cable. Much like this one, you take the wider end. Man, this thing does not want to uncurl. So the wider end is going to go right through there. We're going to pull it up. And if you look real close, this right here is where the first cable tie is going to go, in this little hook that's right there. And that is where our little black mark is going to go. So our little black mark will go right there. All right, with the cables in place, we're going to use these cable ties to neaten things up a bit. So again, we'll take our 135 millimeter mark, and that's going to go near this hook. And this needs to we need to make sure we got enough slack so that it comes straight down and out, because this is going to be a tight fit otherwise. Okay. And with our cables lined up appropriately, we'll slide a tie through the hook underneath the cables, wrap it around, pull it in tight. If I can. All right, with one cable tie done, we just do it 3 more times. All right, and with all 4 cable ties complete, you can just snip off the excess. And we are ready to move on to the next stage. This is where we get to start actually putting everything back together again. So we'll start by putting this piece back on, because it was only test fit before. There we go. All right. And then you can take this leg piece, make sure that this cable is wound through just like this, and you take these cables, make sure they go through that hole. Don't lose your leg detail pieces here. And we're going to fall off on both sides. And you can just fit this right over top. Make sure little silver ankle piece is down. Should fit together quite nicely. There we go. And then you can move this up to help hold it in place. See? Nice and neat. And now we're going to want 12 of the, well, I know they're black screws. Let's see what, I think they're 6mm. Yep, 12 6mm black screws to go in all 12 of those holes. All right, look at that. So this is looking wonderful. All right, the next step is we're going to take this piece of ankle detail here. I'm going to slide this in right here. I'm going to flip it over, and right there we're going to need to drive a 6mm black screw. Now we take the ankle pieces here, and what we're going to want to do is make sure that you line up these posts on the back of the detail with these posts here, and when you do, that curve right here should match that curve there. Yep. And it should fit just like that, nice and flush. You can see a little cutout for the screw there. Do it again on the other side. And now we've got some very nice ankle detail. So we're going to slide this ankle detail into place, and you can see there's a little groove here. That's for the cables. And if you've left enough slack, it should just slide right on in. And with this in place, 4 screws. Now, the instructions say 4 silver 6mm screws, but if I recall correctly, the last time we did this, we tried the silver screws and they didn't work. So I'm going to use the black self-tapping 6mm screws. And there you have it. The left leg is nearing completion, just really the foot to go. And that completes this stage. And there you go, stage 55 is complete. I love issues like that. I feel like we got a lot accomplished in that issue, from the left leg motor, which we tested and verified is working, to actually assembling all the disparate pieces of the left leg so that this is nearing completion. If you liked the video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day.